pep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Brilliant!
You like that? You like that?
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
I'm confident that we'll be world champions. That's what I've said right from the start, and I'm still confident of that.
Purple pride, purple pride.
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, when you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs. All the defensive backs covering are just atrocious today for the Minnesota Vikings.
San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Superchargers. Now what do you think? What do you think of that? Now what do you think? What do you think of that? He's a rude.
You stay classy, San Diego.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
And that's ridiculous.
We're the state of hockey, and I think that proves it, so.
Yes!
Time for 2 more questions, guys.
I'm going to say something controversial here.
That's interesting.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North.
Not so fast.
This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Dak. When yours, we'll be back with more on the Common Man program after this break. Should we just go to break right now?
I love that one.
Play the intro
So we do
music.
the quickest segment in KFAN history?
Just play the intro music and go right to break. Because some shows will just play the outro music and then go straight to the final. Boy, there's a lot to get to today. World Cup. Travelers had overtime. Twins almost blow a lead, then come back and win. Then they play terrible the next day. We didn't need Sonny Gray. No need for him. Former Wolf looks like he's in some trouble. Looks like a blockbuster might be headed the way for the LA Lakers. And still waiting to see if the Minnesota Wild will make some type of blockbuster deal for, is it Dylan Larkin? Dennis Larkin?
I'm Dylan.
Is it Dylan Larkin?
It's Dylan.
Dylan Larkin. I'm Dylan. With all those topics to get to, let's start with a Wheel of Topic and let them make the decision.
Wheel of Topics!
I mean, long segment.
Commons golf game.
Yep.
What did you shoot today?
Oldsmobiles. You familiar with Oldsmobiles?
88?
88. Well, at least it wasn't.
Where'd we play?
At least it wasn't the Oldsmobile 98. Oldsmobile made the 88 and the 98. I don't know if it started in the 50s or the 60s, but those were there too. The 98 was the more luxurious model. But I shot Oldsmobiles.
Where'd we play?
Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on 1?
Started on 10, hit a beautiful drive.
Second shot?
I hit a great forward.
How far from the green were you?
I had a 9-iron in my hand and knocked it on the green to 10 feet and just
Then
missed.
what?
I just missed. I thought I was on my way. Great drive on 11. I go, how about this? I go par, bogey, bogey. Oh, and the tee shot on 12 was a portent of things to come. Do you know what the word portent means going to be? Portent.
Yeah.
A portent of things to
come. Like a sign?
Yes, like an omen. I topped it. 50 yards, ended up making a 5. Then I par 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I hit I hit as good a sand shot as I can hit. And then this is where the putter was so good Saturday, Sunday. Today, how does it change that quickly? So now all of a sudden, I miss a 5-foot putt for par, miss a 8-foot putt for par on 18, which is my 9th hole, so I'm 4 over. I top my drive on 1, make a 6, so a double bogey. Make par on number 2, and then I 3-putt from 30 feet on 3. Get to 4. More guys driving down the right side. He goes down out of sight because I think he's going to dump his clippings, right? I slice one shoulder high right over in his area. I don't see him come out for like 2 minutes. I'm standing there with, I think I killed him, is what I'm thinking. But he comes back out. I tee up again, because that one's out of play. It's in the woods. I tee up again. This one, I hit this bouncing. It's like hitting a chopper to shortstop in baseball, right? Just boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. I make Cousins on that. 8.
Yeah.
So then, a bunch of young kids are working on the yellow tee box on number 11. I mean, on number 5, okay. So I drive up there and I go, hey, guys, I go, just so you know, I don't know where the ball's going right now, so you're probably not safe right here. Now, Tenneby, you know where the white tee is on 5, right? At Loggers?
Sure.
Yeah, right there. There it is.
Yeah.
You know where it is. The yellow tee is like 45-degree angle left, and I'm telling them you don't want us to be there. And the guy goes, that's okay, we'll be up at 6 by the time you hit. So they drive away. I top it into the water, 1, out in 2, top it in the water in 3, out in 4, then hit it in the fairway in 5. I end up making a McCarthy on that hole. That's a 300-yard ball. I made a McCarthy. I made a 9.
Yeah.
So now they're on 6 tee box. I pull up. This is like a scene out of a movie. So I go up there, and there's 2 kids sitting on one of the maintenance carts, and they're right next to the tee box. So, like, as I'm addressing the ball, if I look up, I'm staring straight at them, right? They're, 10 feet away. And I look at them and I go, I just made a 9 on that last hole. Kid driving without saying a word just drops it into reverse and backs the cart up, even though I'm 90 degrees.
I always love that one.
I go, you're moving, Archie. He goes, yeah. Because he didn't know. If you make a 9 on a 300-yard par 4 with a fairway the size of the state of Montana, well, then you have no idea where this guy's going to. I could have hit it 90 degrees. But then I rallied and I went par, 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 par. Here's what we do with this scorecard. They don't make Oldsmobiles anymore, Tenneby. That was the first car I ever owned, was a 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, 4-door, baby blue with a white vinyl top. It was 10 years old when I got it. My brother gave it to me because he bought a brand new Dodge van. And so the first car I ever owned was a gift. It was so nice. Well, it wasn't really that nice. It was kind of beat up, but for me, it was first car you ever owned?
Chevy Lumina 1992.
The Lumina. Yeah, the Lumina didn't have a long shelf life in the Chevy family.
No.
They don't even make the Impala anymore. I think they quit.
They don't?
They stopped making the Impala.
How's that possible?
I don't know because, are there any automobile manufacturers making sedans anymore? They almost all make SUVs. I don't think Ford makes a car anymore. And if they do, it's a good car. They don't make a bad car. But I don't think they make automobiles anymore. I think they're all done with that. Everybody wants a sport utility vehicle. Got to haul the kids around. I told baby brother Peter this as advice that I think I may have mentioned this before. I said, when you're buying or leasing a car, don't worry about brand, make, model, color, extras, options, price. Make sure the golf clubs can fit comfortably in the back of the car. That's the only thing that counts, because if they don't, and you're trying to jam them in there, and it's harder to slam the trunk when you're bitter. So make sure, no matter what you buy, that's the first. You bring your golf clubs along with you. You carry them into the dealership. They go, "Are you playing through, or what's the deal?" No. I'm here to lease or buy a car, but the test for me is will the clubs fit in the trunk of the car? We'll talk a little bit of golf today. There was a playoff today at Travelers.
Playoff?
For some people, it was a surprise. But we'll talk about that. A peek at the purple coming up on the other side of the break, and a number of other topics to get to. A steamy, this is my kind of weather. I love it. Bring it on. Nice and hot and steamy. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a little Distat Flat here on that Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
That show is not easy to cut your teeth on. No. Think about all the work and preparation that goes into that show if you've heard it.
You can hear it.
You can't.
Don't wait. Enter now at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
Segment number 2 of the Common Man program, Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our pals at Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com is a place to go for all of your electrical needs. If you've got a little of this, a little of that, like you're doing some, maybe you're putting in a hot tub for this summer. Spend some time out there building a new patio. Any kind of addition you need to do, make sure you have the electrical done right. Go to affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is, I think you all know it's coming. It's shockingly affordable. So, Teddy, CBS Sports does that clickbait stuff. This is really good Viking related. Is Justin Jefferson still a top 2 wide receiver?
Oh my gosh.
Weighing talent versus production in Twins in Vikings Midland offense. I said Twins. Freudian slip. Their offense really hasn't been Midland. Offense hasn't really been their problem. Story says no wide receiver in NFL history opened his career with more individual success than Justin Jefferson. The superstar is 3 years removed from becoming the youngest player ever to lead the league in catches and receiving yards, and his 8,480 yards through the air since 2020 are the most of any player through the first 5 years of his career. Years 1 through 4 do a lot of heavy lifting in Jefferson's profile, though. He's fresh off his least productive, healthy season to date. Once a top 5 player overall, Jefferson is down to number 8 in Pete Prisco's top 100 NFL player rankings for 2026.
Ooh.
That's still not bad, though.
Top 8 player in the league,
coming up off a mediocre season. But then I read a couple of, who's this? Is this, one key element out of Jefferson's control and could have explained why there was such a large discrepancy between his numbers and those of the all pros is the quarterback situation. Jefferson himself said, a lot of people base it off the quarterback playing the different things that go into my position. Obviously, I've got to depend on a lot of people in order for me to get that ball. So I don't have an elite quarterback that's throwing me the football the entire year. Then it's a little bit difficult to be in those conversations. Having a young quarterback that's still learning the game and still learning his potential in this league, you kind of have to have those difficult seasons, which I had this past year. Tell me, that is the issue. I mean, it's a receiver. You and I have discussed this before. I think a really good quarterback can make an okay wide receiver look a lot better than a wide receiver can make a mediocre quarterback look better. And there's proof right there. Now, this might be what do they call it, outlier? because McCarthy has been really pretty brutal for his entire career so far, his young career here in Minnesota. But no matter how good Jefferson is, if the quarterback doesn't have a lot of protection, or if he's not capable of getting you the ball when you're open or not. I mean, how many times did we see quarterbacks make those tight fits to receivers like Jefferson, and they find a way to come down with the football? The great catch was that Buffalo catch? I mean, those things can happen. So, we'll find out more this season. You know, I think you and I are on the same page. We're pretty convinced Murray's going to be the guy at quarterback, but that remains to be seen. But I do find that's interesting that.
And if he's not the quarterback, you would then assume that last year's quarterback made a big jump.
Yes.
So you'd still get improvement at the quarterback position.
You would think so. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought I saw another quarterback.
I mean, you could argue he's not top two. Jamar Chase, it seems like they've been battling for that number one spot. And there's always the debate between those two.
The kid for Seattle.
But, the season Jackson Smith and Jigba had last year. Now, I do think Jefferson's stats definitely went down because you have just proof on the other receivers on the team. Jordan Addison didn't have nearly the same numbers. TJ Hawkinson's numbers were down. So all of the pass catchers in the Vikings offense, their numbers were down. Would lead you to believe the quarterback's the main culprit.
Exactly. And so that's why it is that position where I think that's why sometimes two wide receivers get that's the word I'm looking for. They get to be pain in the butts because divas because they're only as good as the quarterback play when they're not. And again, the receiver position is pretty unique in that way. A running back's going to get the ball, or he's not. He's going to get. If you have a running game or need to run, you got to establish it. The running back is going to get the ball, maybe less than they used to. Depending upon the club, more it's a passing league now more than it is a running league. But the receivers are the ones that are they're connected at the hip with the quarterback if the quarterback can't get him the ball, and then that leads to when do again what is Jefferson's contract status? Is he?
Well, he just signed that big deal a year or two ago, didn't he?
Just a year or two ago. Okay. Now that doesn't still mean like if it doesn't go well, he couldn't after a while go, maybe this really isn't the best place for me right now. But I don't really. There hasn't been any indication that he feels that way, but this is his first really unproductive season.
I was going to say, if the quarterback plays the same as last year and he puts up the same numbers, I do think he'll put up a stink after this year.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't blame him. You can only be a good soldier for so long.
That's exactly right, especially when, so much of it depends upon, your future contracts, your status in the game. And then if you are a player of his ilk, then your mind, even though you're early in your career, your mind does probably start to wander toward legacy, right? Like, where am I going to be in the pantheon of wide receivers? I mean, greatest of all time. Do you think it's Moss or is it still Jerry Rice? Who would you put as the number one wide receiver? Or is it neither one?
I would say Randy Moss is the most talented wide receiver.
Okay.
But he didn't put it all together like Jerry did, and he had some off-the-field stuff. He would get distracted easily. He did not have the longevity Jerry did.
Correct.
But, if I was if I was B-Flow, and I had to have one receiver on the other side of me, I wouldn't want it to be Moss.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, I think it's probably too early. What is it, 4 years for Jefferson, or is it 5? Has he played 5? That was his 5th year last year, right? I think that was his 5th season. So through 5 seasons.
He's played 6.
6 seasons now. He's trending, right? He's trending toward, the last couple of years now, not trending quite as much. But my point, after those first 4 years, he was trending toward numbers that, we talked about at the beginning of that story. Fastest to this, fastest to that. And he was well on his way to becoming, and coming out of college, I know he was highly regarded, but did anybody really see this kind of productivity coming? Did you have him on your Purple Prey?
No. I mean, he was a first-round pick.
Right.
But even in that draft, I think he was fourth or fifth wide receiver taken off the board.
Yeah.
There was a bunch taken ahead of him.
He'll be all right. I hope. A lot will depend on what happens in training camp. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, and trust me, I've had them over my place a couple of times to take care of some stuff for me, and I appreciate the work they've done. It's top-notch. Affordable-electric.com is a place to go. Affordable-electric. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Does the World Cup ever end? I want to ask Ken to be some World Cup questions and discuss it. The United States plays on Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
And they have to play two countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina. If you can't field a team with just one country, then you shouldn't be in the tournament. We'll talk about that next. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable-Electric.com. Affordable-Electric.com.
The Common Man.
People don't like him because he's not cool and all that jazz. Wow. But he had giant ratings for a very long time.
In terms of success,
one night, one stage, one epic band.
Not a chance.
My Chemical Romance at Target Field, August 24th. Grab your tickets before they're gone. Get all the details today at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
I think my favorite Chemical Romance song is Sweet City Woman. Couple 13-14 past, I'm Common, he's 10 to be. You heard our World Cup update. We are your home for World Cup this and World Cup that. I think that we air World Cup games on this frequency and several other iHeartMedia frequencies. So if you're a World Cup person, this is the place to be. You heard the update there. United States plays on Wednesday. I still haven't really got caught up in World Cup fever, tend to be like a lot of other people have. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you'd rather plunge your head into a boiling hot vat of asphalt and pay attention to World Cup, or 10, you were like Deuce. You would spend $700 for a ticket and drive 7 or 8 hours to go see a game.
Definitely not at 10. I'm definitely not at 1.
Okay.
I'm keeping track, and now that they're at the round of 32, I think and now the games just mean a little bit more, right? Yeah. You lose, you're done. It seems a little more exciting than pool play to me. Right now, Japan actually is pulling off the upset on Brazil, up 1-0 in the 34th minute there.
Okay.
But I think part of it too is Leo really my kid likes to watch the World Cup, so I think we're already set to watch the Netherlands versus Morocco tonight at 8:00.
Really?
And then, I'll watch all the USA games. I'll watch Wednesday night.
What time will that be?
I think they're at 8 Wednesday night.
8:00. They're in the England.
That might be wrong. I know it's 8:00 tonight, but
so we're at the
they're at the round of 32 now.
We're knockout round 32. This is where it used to start, right? I mean, they had pool play, but it was 32 teams. Is that what it always was? Then they
increased. It's at 7 on Wednesday. I'm sorry.
And then they increased to 48. Is that what it was? Did they go from?
They moved up to 48, and
now they're back to where they
32 were. Is the knockout round. So
and before they expanded to 48, it was 32 teams, right? And then they would go to 16.
Yeah.
The United States is in the Inglewood region. Round of 32 matchups includes number 8 Portugal versus number 13 Croatia, number 3 Spain. Let me ask you this. Would you rather vacation in Blaine or Spain?
Ooh. Blaine.
Chaska or Alaska?
Depends. Can I play at Hazeltine?
Boston or Austin?
I always love that one.
Fargo or Key Largo? Harris or Paris? Harris is just up the road on the way to Duluth. Have you ever gone through it?
What about Onamia or Romania?
That's new. I don't ever remember using Onamia and Romania. Very good, Tennessee.
What about China or Edina?
And there's China and Edina. And there have been people that have said that we haven't done anything new in 20 years. Right there is proof positive. We've never had Onamia and Romania. Number 3, Spain versus number 18, Austria. Number 10, Belgium versus number 17, Senegal. And then it's, as you mentioned, number 14, United States against number 30, Bosnia. And then I found a piece on Associated Press, their sports section, that basically was kind of handicapping what's left. You know, who's got the best chance to get through their region. And this one says the United States gets one of the lowest ranked teams left in the tournament to open the round of 32 and would remain in the Pacific time zone until the semifinals. Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal did not get an easy draw at all, with Croatia right off the bat, and then potentially Spain in the round of 16. And it says, in parentheses, can't imagine Spain is too thrilled with this either. Belgium versus Senegal is in Seattle, and the winner will stay there to play the U.S. match winner. That's a big break for weary legs. If the seeds hold, Spain would play Belgium in the quarterfinal. Well, guess what? We don't worry about seeds, not here in the United States. You done any? I'm just starting to sort of, you know, I equate it to when it comes to the Wild and the Wolves. Though I've kind of broken that. It wasn't really a promise, but I would always say, get to the Western Conference Finals and get back to me. Both teams spent a lot of time being one and done. That's like, just don't feel like investing all my time. You know, it's much like Ant and the Wolves don't want to play all those regular season games to get to the playoffs. I don't want to watch a bunch of regular season games to watch the team get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. But now that both teams have had some success, it's it seems it's more tempting to find them on your local, on a television station near you and watch them. But I kind of look at that with World Cup. You know, let's get to the knockout round and then get back to me. Now that we're there, Wednesday night, I know Deuce will be watching. I guess I'll pay attention. Do you know anything about the United States team whatsoever? Can you name a player on the United States team?
Pulisic.
Pulisic, okay.
He's been hurt a bit in this tournament. Then they have one really good scorer whose name...
Nelly Korda.
Nelly Korda.
Yeah.
His name, I can't think of at this moment, but I think the backstory on him is he's not even... He was born here because his mom got pregnant and they weren't able to leave the country.
Oh, really?
So it wasn't like his family's not from here. He wasn't... I don't even think he was raised here.
Okay.
But because the birthright citizenship thing, he's on Team USA and he's like our best player.
Well, that's sort of like the same with Nelly Korda. Is it Peter Korda, tennis player? His wife, Nelly's mother, was also a tennis player, and they are Czechoslovakian. But because they lived here in, I think, was it Bradenton, Florida? Does that sound right? Somewhere in Florida,
sure.
She was born. She has Czech heritage, but she was born here in the United States, so that's why she's a United States golfer. But I guess the same thing with the player you're referring to is that, you know, my country 'tis of thee, wherever you were born is the way it works. I
was talking to Nordo beforehand, and there are people listening that know immensely much more than me just referencing Nordo. That basically, like, there's like all these people in like Premier League soccer that have a lot of money will like go into Africa and find young kids that, you know, don't have a lot of money, and they bring them up to their place, put them into like soccer academies to make them great soccer players, and then they end up playing for their national team even though they weren't born and raised there. Because I was asking Norda too, like, our coach is Argentinian.
Yes.
And I think that's just weird. To me, it's like, if you're going to have a national team, it should be players from the USA and coaches from the USA.
What you would think.
Right? Like, and he said it's not a one-off thing. This is happening everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I think the United States decided in their game against Turkey they went with load management.
And with their JV, their roster, yeah.
So they went with load management. There were people that were disappointed in that. I think there are people that World Cup soccer is once every 4 years. The United States has never really been any good. And now we're like, were we a 17 seed or something, 14 seed, whatever that seed is. So I think some United States soccer fans want us to flex our muscles, right? They want to see another win. They want to see us beat down team. They want to see us be a dominant team. So they were a little upset that, well, I know the game didn't matter, but you were giving it away. You basically, you gave the game. You were saying hey, if we win, great, but it's really, we're not going to play our best players. We're going to play, like you say, the JV squad. And the coach was bitter about that. And he was bitter about it in both languages. He talked a little bit of English, and then where did you say he was from?
Argentina.
And then he talked in some, do they speak Argentinian there?
I don't even know what they speak in Argentina.
I think my guess is it's Spanish, but maybe it's Argentinian. Regardless, he was not happy about that. And I can make
They speak Spanish.
Spanish, right. And I can,
though their dialect spoken is often referred to as Rioplatense Spanish.
Well, I knew that. Matter of fact, that's the dialect I use when I speak Spanish. Uno, you know how we learn to count in Detroit? Uno and one.
Uno and cero.
Uno and cero. Uno, dos, tres. Can you count in Spanish? I can get to
cero and uno, cero and dos, cero and tres, cero and cuatro.
That's about as far as
cero and cinco.
I can get to cuatro.
Seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez.
In seventh grade, you had your choice of either French, Spanish, or German. I took German. You know how I learned one sentence in German class. Öffnen dem Fenster. That's open the window. Because I wanted to open the window and just jump out of class because I didn't want to be there. That's the only one I learned. I can make an argument too, tend to be for resting players, which I actually do think was the right thing to do.
Yes.
Though I will say, not so much resting, but just protecting from injury because they haven't played in 2.5 weeks. Has it been? It seems like it's been that long. There will, if I'm not mistaken, 6 days will have gone by since the United States was last on the, what do we call it? The pitch. The pitch. Is that really necessary? 6 days? Do we need that much? Why are we milking this thing? Is soccer that grueling? The National Football League has 6 days between games, right? And then sometimes teams are forced to play. You play on a Sunday, you play on Thursday night football, right? You're playing it for 4 days. Thanksgiving, 4 days you play basketball, you play football. Why my guess is because there's so many teams and there's so much, I don't know where you can find all the games. It's probably scattered all over about 13, 14 different networks. But it just seems like it's taking way too long. I would hope the process would speed up a little bit now that we have 32 teams. Is it going to be like the NCAA tournament or it's just going to go on for weeks? NCAA tournament goes on for like 3 weeks.
You still have 5 rounds worth of action, and you're going to get that 5-6 days between. So I'm sure it's going to go another 3-4 weeks here.
That long? Well, I don't know if I can keep. I can barely keep. I have a very short attention span, as you know. I don't think I have that kind of attention span for that. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. Just tell me the day of when they're playing, and then I'll tune in. But other than that, I just think I'm out.
Well, with USA, you never know if they're going to keep going. So.
Well, that's the problem.
You got to tune in when you can. We haven't had a great tradition of soccer in this country, but it all changes right now. We're going to turn this thing around.
Do you like parades? If we had a parade, would it go all 50 states and Argentina?
Yeah.
You'd have to go to Argentina because that's where the coach is from.
I would have rested all the players against Turkey. And apparently there was a lot of people that were very upset about it. I don't understand. One, obviously, you're avoiding injury. You had some guys, including one of your better players, beat up to begin with. Though they did get him some time in that game. And then two, don't the yellow cards and red cards carry over? So why would you want to put yourself in a position where one of your top guys, one of your starters is having to sit when the games mean something?
I think I answered that question earlier when I first brought this up, in that I think people just want to see the United States dominate and beat down. They're going to settle in for a game, and they want to see the best players. They want to see us crush Turkey and go, look at us, 3-0, pool play. Look at our goal differential. We're one of the best teams. I think that's what it is. I don't think, and I'm not suggesting that's the right approach, that's how you should want the United States to approach the game against Turkey, but I think that's part of it. People just want to see domination. It's sort of like when you do load management in the NBA, and sometimes you do it for good reason. Guys may be banged up a little bit. You got the playoffs coming up, but then you have a fan that goes to that game, and that's the only game. We talk about it all the time. And I was saying, well, why isn't LeBron playing? I got one game a year. The Lakers come to town. I want to watch LeBron, and he's resting. Boy, that's not right. That's like if you went to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey circus and the elephants weren't there. And I was like, what do you mean the elephants aren't there? They don't need load. That's a hell of a load, too, but they don't need a load management. You know, they often compare, Paul Peterson, Ping Guy, will often compare the PGA or LPGA tour to the circus because they do the build out. They come to town, they put the tents up, you have the show, and then you take the tents down, and then you move them out, right? And I said, that's exactly right. And it is like a circus. Swingling Brothers and Parnham and Bailey circus. Maury Amsterdam guy wrote half of that. I wrote the other half. He did the Swingling Brothers and I did the Parnham and Bailey. I know, send it to rewrite and have him punch it up. It really was.
I always love that one.
There have been some individual milestones, though, in World Cup that I think are of interest to people. Lionel Richie. He's going to be okay, Tennessee. He's taking a couple of days off. He's going to be working against it. Lionel Messi scored a brace against Austria to reach 18 career World Cup goals. Is that what they call a hat trick in soccer? A brace? That's what it says here. Huh. Individual milestones. All-time World Cup top scorer Lionel Messi scored a brace against Austria to reach 18 career World Cup goals. He broke Miroslav Klose's men's record, 16, and Marta's overall record of 17 to become the outright highest goal scorer in tournament history. I love when they just have one name, Marta. I mean, it's Marta. It's like Annika, like Madonna, like Tennessee. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first player in football history to score in 6 separate World Cup tournaments from 2006 to 2026, following his brace against Uzbekistan. Messi also became only the third player ever to score in 6 consecutive World Cup matches dating back to 2022, matching Just Fontaine and another one-named soccer player that I'm sure Nordo's familiar with. That would be Jefferson.
Who?
Messi and Ronaldo officially broke the record by playing in their 6 different World Cups. Oldest outfield player, Ronaldo set the record for the oldest outfield player to start a World Cup match at 41 years, 132 days against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Oldest coach, Caraco's manager, Dick. Is it Caraco? What is it?
Is it Curacao?
Curse is how you say it. I don't know. Geography is not. I'm starting a lot like meat sauce today, aren't I? Can you say it again?
I'm not even sure. But I think there's a different. One of the C's is different. I think it's Curacao.
Let's do this. Neither of us have the market on IQ cornered, but I think on this one I would trust you more than I would trust me. Curacao, Dickie Advocat became the oldest. Curacao.
Kind of sounds like carousel.
Yeah.
Curacao
manager Dick Advocat became the oldest coach in World Cup history at 70 years old, later extending it as the oldest coach to earn a tournament point. Who keeps track of these records? Who talks about them? We do. Oldest clean sheet. See, now these are the things. So they call a hat trick a brace, right? I mean, it must be, right? Doesn't take a Columbo. What's a clean sheet? Does that mean a shutout? Cape Fear goalkeeper Vazinha 40 years and 12 days, became the oldest goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet.
A brace, by the way, is just scoring 2 goals in the same match.
Oh. So they do call a hat trick, I guess.
Yeah, clean sheet is just preventing the opposing team from scoring any goals. So it's a shutout.
Why don't they just call it a shutout?
Because they're different. It's soccer. It's football.
Daily attendance record, June 16th. The tournament set a new single-day record with 281,223 fans attending the 4 scheduled matches, beating the previous record set during the 1994 World Cup. England stalemates. England's 0-0 draw with Ghana marked the 13th scoreless draw in tournament history, extending their own all-time FIFA World Cup mark. And there are just... Egypt picked up its first ever World Cup victory by defeating New Zealand. Canada also captured their first ever tournament win by routing, is it Qatar?
And Canada won last night. They were the first, or yesterday, they're the first round of 32, so they've advanced to the Sweet 16.
And then Cape Fear became the first team since records began in 1966 to score their debut World Cup goal directly from a what tend to be? A free kick. Is that sort of like a free throw? Same kind of a thing?
Not exactly. But
not exactly. You do get to defend the free kick.
Yeah, that's when they set up their little line of people.
Oh, okay.
Which lately I've been seeing someone laying down, but behind the line.
It's the call I've been waiting my entire life for. I better take it. All right, well, there you go. That's a World Cup. You know what, Tenneby?
Who says we don't talk soccer?
That's it, and I'm going to tune in on Wednesday night. Did you say 8 o'clock?
It's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Tonight's game is 8 o'clock.
I like 7 o'clock even better. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Top of the hour, 534, Tenneby with a tease.
All the Twins and Lynx do is win.
The Common Man.